Salve te discipuli. This is Help for Your Latin Studies in Henle First Year Latin, exercise number 268. In this exercise, we will be translating sentences from Latin to English. And although I didn't mention it when we looked at exercise 267, it will help to know the information from this idiom study on page 255. For both exercise 267 and 268, and moving forward from there. Basically, the idiom study tells us that there are sentences in Latin that have no definite subject. In English, we might think of that as a sentence similar to "it rains." It is sort of an impersonal or indefinite subject. So in Latin, what they do is that it says when a verb is used impersonally, it's always in the third person singular. That's important to remember. Third person singular. And in compound tenses, that's ones that would use the fourth principal part or the participle of the verb plus a being verb. So in compound tenses, the participle will always be neuter singular. So for example, and the ones that they want you to simply memorize at this point, are these two common expressions. Pugnatum est, it was fought. Acriter is an adverb meaning bitterly, which literally it was fought bitterly, right? The est is he, she, or it, and we would say it was fought bitterly. But in English, that doesn't really make sense. So we want to look down here. Always translate Latin impersonal verbs into good English. So we might translate that more appropriately as there was bitter fighting or they fought bitterly. Here's the second one, ad flumen perventum est. So notice again, the compound verb, the neuter singular ending the third person singular form of the verb, which would literally translate, it was arrived at the river, but good English would have us say, they arrived at the river. So with all of that in mind, let's take a look at number 1 of exercise 268, which says, ad impedimenta acriter usque ad noctem pugnatum est. Okay. All right, so we already recognize our verb here, pugnatum est, with that neuter singular ending of the fourth principal part and the third person singular form of the being verb, est. So this would literally be translated, it was fought. We have these other words to consider. So we have ad impedimenta. Ad, we'll remember from our recent learning, can be used in multiple different ways. It will depend on what's being said beside it. So this word impedimenta is a second declension neuter noun that's always going to have plural form to it. So impedimenta, impedimentorum, a orum is, a is. So I'm just going to write that it's let me see, neuter. It's probably accusative because it's with ad. Took my brain a second. Gender, number, case. Oh, and it's plural. And it means baggage or baggage train. We know acriter, this is an adverb meaning bitterly or eagerly. Okay, and then usque ad, that was also recent information given. And let's just look back. Usque, an adverb meaning all the way. Usque ad, all the way to. Okay, so it's another adverb, all the way. And then we have ad again, and noctem is a third declension noun meaning night, nax, nacis. So it's various is em, another accusative, which makes sense with ad, accusative, and it's singular. And I will say by the Sachs rule, feminine. No, nox, with that X ending, makes it feminine. Okay. And then pugnatum est. Let's just look a little bit closer in the grammar book to remember what this is exactly. This is a passive voice, indicative mood, perfect tense. We know that because we take that fourth principal part, pugnatum, neuter singular, and pair it with est, third person singular, just like we just read in the idiom study, which means he, she, or it was verbed, right? It was fought, literally. But again, they want us to translate this into good English, knowing that it's idiomatic. Okay, so we're going to write third person singular, perfect, and passive, meaning that the action happens to the subject, but the subject is indefinite. And so we'll translate that into good English, saying something like they fought. Okay. Ad can mean at or in. If we look back at the meanings of ad, to, until, for. So I'm thinking, since the baggage or baggage train is a place, we might say at the baggage train. And we're going to start with subject verb. They fought, according to our idiom study, they fought, and let's give the adverb to that verb. They fought bitterly at the baggage train. Then we have another adverb, all the way. And then we have ad noctem. So we're going to say night, right? Does it make sense to say at night, all the way at night? Not really. All the way until night or all the way to night? We'll say until. Sounds like good English to me. All the way until night. So your translation of this Latin sentence would be something like this. They fought bitterly at the baggage train all the way until night. I hope this has been helpful to you. Have a great day.